Testing, testing. Alright, we're here. Let's see. I have to quickly edit some stuff on my main screen before we begin. I messed it all up today because I was streaming Final Fantasy for a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. Let's see. And we're looking for this little icon. And then let's see, the chat box needs to come back. Yeah, yesterday I had some friends who wanted to play Lethal Company, so I actually took the day off. And then today my sleep schedule was so messed up that I didn't get around to it till just now to jump in and try to finish this, so that'll be good. There's gonna be probably a lot of trial and error in the stream anyway because I've gotta go back and forth between the guide. I'm gonna try to do it myself first, but I've got a guide up on my main screen just in case. But enjoy your trip wherever you're going. And yeah, the stream will be here. Yeah. Waiting for you when you get back. Yep, see ya. Alright, let's see. From my understanding, there are 3 other endings, I believe. They are the true ending, the hell ending, and the crow ending, I believe. Was that what it's called? Let's see. Yeah, I think that's crow ending. Let's see. I guess the first thing we need to do is go and get our achievements. Which I think the ones I'm missing are forge a bond with Tomoe? Because I think I got the one for Aoi and Shinya. And then... do I have Love Unburied or... I don't think I have Truth Unlocked. No, I've got a Sarcophagus Sealed. I think is, yeah, Sarcophagus Sealed is the one I've got. So I'm looking for Truth Uncovered, which I believe is the true ending, and Love Unburied, which might just be the Hell ending, I'm not sure. Or Hell Unleashed. Sounds like it'd be about right. I have no idea. So, let's, start by choosing one of these options. We're going to start with this one first. This is where Tomoe was like, you know what, Corpse Girl's coming after you. Let me protect you. And I think we said, thanks, but I'll be fine on my own. So the one we want is I'd feel better with you looking after me.
I'd feel better with you looking after me.
You're damn right. Ain't no one gonna protect you as good as me.
Tomoe reaches forward and ruffles my hair in a tomboyish manner. I grimace and bear it until she's satisfied, and retracts her arm with a laugh.
Now what are we gonna do? I don't totally believe this Corpse Girl person really exists, but still. Something or other killed Akane Tsurumaki. Pretty sure it wasn't suicide, what with the photo and all. Since you got one of them photos too, I reckon someone's out to get you.
Yeah, about that.
How about we hunker down at my place after work? Gals night in, right?
Let me fix one little thing. Okay.
If someone tries to break down the door to get to you, I'll show them what's what.
She really is insistent. I almost can't believe this is the same girl that slapped me across the face last week. I feel like we could almost be friends at this rate, but what happens when she finds out I'm not actually in any danger? Will she think I used her? Betrayed her? What if she finds out that I'm Corpse Girl? That would probably be the trigger that provokes her into slashing my throat herself. Tired as I am, and feeling weak of will, I simply nod.
Sure. Let's go to your place after work.
Yeah, that's what's up. We'll do a snack run, okay? Gotta have chocolate and cake on a night like this.
I'm gonna turn the volume up for y'all just a little bit. All of a sudden, she freezes and stares intently into my eyes.
Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's fine. Snacks sound good.
Hey, don't feel pressured to eat, okay? I got a big appetite, so nothing will go to waste.
She grins, looking proud of herself. My expression softens somewhat. Somehow Tomoe is displaying the minimum amount of human decency, and yet it's very touching. We've somehow broken down a wall between us and removed the animosity that has hung in the air since the day we met. Suddenly she reaches out her hand, the photograph held gently between her fingers.
Better you have it than me.
Looking down at the photo, it's pretty clear that it's me in the image. I suppose it would be best to delete this evidence. I shred the photo carefully, making sure to completely destroy all of my defining features in the image. With the photo completely ripped beyond recognition, I toss it into a nearby bin. Tomoe smiles at me as we enter the office building side by side. Tomoe's apartment is not at all what I expected it to be. For starters, it's not an absolute trash heap like it always was in my mind's eye. The place was nice, fairly modern, and probably not that cheap. She lives on the outskirts of Shinjuku, so she's a lot closer to the office than I am. That probably explains why she's usually so punctual, despite her terrible work ethic. From what I can gather from my first impressions, she lives alone. A few photo frames near the entrance feature some family members, including a younger brother and sister. It's funny because she doesn't seem like the older sister type to me. The personal effects decorating the apartment aren't cheap and tacky, much to my surprise. I immediately get the feeling that she earns more money than I do, even though we have the same job. Though, how can that be? We're both simple data entry temps. We'd surely be on the same contract and the same salary. I suppose she's a little bit older than me. Maybe she had a well-paying job before starting work at Temujin. Or maybe she has a side job. Either way, there's no way she could afford to live here on the same salary as me.
So, would you like a cup of tea? I've got oolong, green, barley, hojicha.
So many to choose from. I didn't take you as much of a tea drinker.
Well, of course I am. It's tradition, you know. Tradition's real important.
Huh. Yeah, I guess so. Hojicha for me, please.
Sure. Coming right up.
As Tomoe busies herself in the kitchen nook, I continue scanning the apartment. A fairly large TV sits atop a sleek cabinet against one wall of the living room area. A comfortable-looking sofa fills most of her room, but gives way to a smaller kotatsu in the corner. During winter, a kotatsu is a very valuable piece of furniture. It's a small, low table with a blanket to cover your legs. Underneath is a tiny space heater designed to warm up the enclosed area.
I like your kotatsu. I can't even fit one in my apartment.
Oh, yeah. They're great, right? Dad actually made that one for me.
Your dad made it?
I look closely at it. I don't know much about woodwork, but the whole thing looks very solid and well made. Even the blanket spread underneath the table's surface is pleasing to look at.
It's probably not cold enough to flick the heater on, but feel free to sit down there if you like.
No, that's okay. I'm warm enough.
A memory of my childhood flickers at the edge of my mind like a moth dancing around a flame. Sitting at a kotatsu as a child with a warm cup of cocoa and my big sister reading a book aloud to me. I shake my head. That was too long ago to even attempt to remember clearly, and the past never really mattered much to me anyway. Tomoe has finished pouring tea, so she sits 2 ceramic mugs atop the coffee table and calls out to me.
Tea's up!
Thank you.
So, we gotta protect you from Corpse Girl, right?
I simply nod.
Hey, wait a minute. If you got one of them photos, that means someone requested your death, right? This whole time, I've been thinking it's Corpse Girl that wants you dead. But that ain't right. It means that someone else just asked Corpse Girl to put you in the ground.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
Let me fix this a little bit. There we go. Now it should be a little bit more easily readable. She's not wrong. While Corpse Girl isn't actually after me, it's true that there is somebody who requested my death.
Huh. So who do you think it is? Who wants you dead?
We're looking at her.
Well, honestly, at first I thought it was you.
Yeah, I mean, last week I might have been tempted to chuck your photo on the website, but nah.
Nah.
You work right near me in the office. If you ended up dead, someone would trace it back to me, you know? I dobbed in Akane Tsurumaki because she worked way upstairs. And we never talked, save one time when I found out she's a total skank.
Oh? So you did speak to her once? What was she like?
I was wondering, why she picked her.
Fucking slut, that one. We met in the lobby. I was on one of them couches doing my makeup because I was in early one morning. She walks past me, gives me one of them looks all those snooty rich people give you. You know the type, like, I'm better than you and I know it. But you know what she said to me?
What did she say?
She says this. Honey, please wait for your clients outside the building.
Huh? What did she mean?
Ugh, don't you get it? She was implying that I'm a hooker or something. Just by looking at me, she decided I didn't belong in the office building.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
It really pissed me off. I'm sick of people judging me like that. Yeah, I look different from y'all, but so what? I got my own style, so just fuck off.
so you're not a hooker?
Bitch. You're lucky I'm in a good mood.
I can't help but laugh along with her.
Sorry, I was just kidding.
Yeah, I know. You're not so bad, Noriko Kurosawa.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself, Tomoe Watanabe.
We share another laugh and I feel my tense and guarded persona slowly slipping away. This girl, this person that I detested just days ago, did I have her all wrong? We clashed countless times while working together, but now we're suddenly becoming closer. What is this? It's almost as though some sort of maternal instinct kicked into gear inside Tomoe and she feels the urge to keep me safe. Is it guilt over Akane Tsurumaki's death? Is it because she's happier overall now that she has a boyfriend? Does dating Shinya make her less pissed off at the world and less eager to lash out? I don't know the answer, but I'm glad we were able to set aside our differences.
Right. Now we've got some tea. Why don't we watch some trashy TV?
It's not exactly my preferred way to spend an evening, but Tomoe has welcomed me into her home. We've all but buried the hatchet. It's only fair they extend a hand of friendship as well.
Okay. Trashy TV sounds great. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tomoe cheers and picks up the television remote with a quick flick of her wrist. Alright. Bleached Soul. Forge a bond with Tomoe. Another dull morning in the office. The chatter of people talking on the phone, the humming of the air conditioner, the tap of fingers against the keyboard. Alright. So we can actually skip this part because we have seen it. And it should just continue to skip until we get to some text that we haven't seen. Which, considering the CGI, or CG, sorry, we're missing, might be a while. I actually wouldn't be surprised if... Actually, I should probably just go to the end. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Let me go ahead and save this one, and I'm going to save this down to file 9 so I don't lose track. And then let's get back to the title screen. Yeah. And let's see, endings. Is there a way to just... I didn't see the endings button before, so let's see. Which ending would you like to view? Okay. So we got ending B. I would like to go through real quick and get them this way before we go and just view them like that. I mean, maybe just viewing them is all we really need to do. But I want to make sure we have everything just in case. Let's see. I think this was the next one. No. Where are our questions at? Oh, you know what? What if it is this one here? If I can't figure out how to get to it, then I will just view the endings. But let's see. Start, prologue, clear, give some space. Soul, white justice. Can't let her go. So this is where we were deciding whether we're going to chase Aoi or if we're going to give her space. Can't let her just walk away, as sad and helpless as she is. My legs lurch forward, of their own volition, propelling my body through the rain-soaked streets.
Aoi, come back!
My shout echoes in the night, my weightless words falling through the air like the very rain that patters against my face. Aoi's silhouette is just out of reach. If only my weak body could pick up its pace, I might be able to reach her before she fades away. Her unexpected command fulfills its purpose. I halt, my shoes skidding along the wet ground. Aoi is closer than I expected her to be. Perhaps due to some trick of the light and rain, she simply seemed further away to my tired eyes.
Aoi, please, let me help you.
There's nothing to be done. Why can't you take a hint? You just never give up, do you? You just want to smother me. You don't trust me to handle things on my own.
That's not it. I just care for you so much.
I know that. You think you haven't made that clear in the past?
Rarely have I ever seen Aoi this angry. She's well past the point of being simply upset now. She's truly furious. Have I overstepped a boundary?
You're not my guardian angel, or my savior, or whatever. This is my life, Noriko. It's not your sick fantasy, where you swoop in and act like my knight in shining armor.
Aoi,
Shut up! Just shut up! You always take it one step too far. Just leave me alone.
Can't get another word in before she vanishes into the night. I reach a hand out into the darkness like some foolish attempt to stop her, but I know it's pointless. She made her thoughts perfectly clear. She doesn't need or want my help. Even if she cares for me, she doesn't love me in the same way I love her, and I don't think she ever will. I sigh and look up at the thick cloak of clouds above. The rain continues to fall. Oh, so it might be just as easy as looking at the endings from the main menu, I guess. Today drags on and on. Since I don't work weekends, I never really know what to do with myself during my free time. Okay, so we have experienced this text before. Let's go. Oops. Yeah, we're good. Alright, let's just look at the endings from here then. I'm not exactly sure how to reach them otherwise. So we'll start with, I don't know, should we start with? We could probably do the hell ending first and then do the true ending, I think that would probably be pretty good. Ending C, hell, Noriko Kurosawa. 3 months later, so I guess this is after everything. I wonder what dictates which end you get.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Okay, so that's Aoi as Noriko. So I guess this is in the event that Noriko dies and Aoi just takes over her life. I make a quick apologetic bow to my coworkers before hurrying over to my desk. No one seems too bothered about my tardiness. A few people often raise an eyebrow, but then quickly return to their own work. I take a seat at my workstation and switch my computer on. It whirs to life as I organize my belongings. From my handbag, I retrieve some key items. First is my canned coffee, still ice cold thanks to the convenience store's powerful refrigeration. Second is my headphones. I can't complete a day of tedious data entry without listening to music. Last but not least is my phone. The screen is a little cracked, and the protective case has seen better days, but it's invaluable to me. Something feels slightly off as I look at the screen. There's a nagging feeling in my mind, some small voice telling me that this isn't my phone, but I know it's mine. The familiar red case, the spiderweb fractures inching across the glass. It's my phone, no doubt about it. Pushing the strange thoughts from my mind, I turn my attention to my computer. It doesn't take long to read over today's list of tasks. I'll be continuing where I started yesterday. Easy.
Noriko?
I'm startled by the sudden vocalization of my name. I don't know why. People call me by my name every day. Don't they?
Oh, hello, Fujikawa.
Shinya Fujikawa is standing at my desk, scratching his cheek awkwardly. I get the feeling he wants to approach a topic of conversation that makes him nervous.
I wanted to apologize. I haven't been present in the office of late. Was there anything you needed to discuss with me during my absence?
I think about the question. Shinya and I don't really need to talk on a day-to-day basis. His work is fairly unrelated to mine. It's just a data entry temp after all. But we do have a history together, I suppose. We went to school together after all. We were never exactly friends. Actually, I always kind of had the feeling he had a crush on me, but he's not really the type of guy to make a confession. Aoi always used to joke about how he and I would make a cute couple, but I could never see it. He was, and still is, far too dull for my taste. Aoi. Why does that name sound so distant? I try to put a face to the name, yet my mind draws a blank. She was my best friend, and yet...
Noriko?
Oh, sorry. I get lost in my own head sometimes.
Ah, yes, I see. Well, if there's nothing you need, then I'll be on my way.
Okay then.
Say, your old friend, Aoi Sato? Have you heard from her lately?
No. Actually, I feel like something must have happened to her. We haven't spoken in God knows how long.
Is that so? That's too bad.
I find it odd that he leaves the conversation with those last words. He simply walks away from my desk. My phone cries out, the unfamiliar ringtone, one that I never selected, splits my head wide open and prompts my brain to spill out between the cracks in my skull. I squeeze the sludgy gray matter back into my head and blink a few times, then realize that my brain is not actually leaking, just a trick of the light. I struggle to maintain eye contact with the screen. The caller ID flashes across the device, identifying the caller as Noriko. Me, my own name, myself. Noriko is calling me. I'm calling myself? A dull ache still throbs within my head as though it has been recently emptied. I answer the call.
Hello?
I hear a sharp inhalation of breath, and then the call cuts out. It takes a few seconds for me to realize I'm crying. Shinya's at my side, his arm around my shoulders, and within seconds the rest of my coworkers are staring down at me. I'm on the floor, my face nestled within the plush office carpet, and I don't know how I got there. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. It's my ideology, my entire identity. So much for stoic, unflinching Noriko. Remember, stoic, unflinching Noriko? Maybe if I just close my eyes, I can make everything return to normal and start this day over again? Hey! Welcome to the chat, you guys. Yep, I've been doing pretty okay. Tonight we're kind of finishing up all the extra endings. Right now we're on the Hell ending. I figured I'd do the, this is ending C, and then ending A will be our true ending. I think there's a bonus and an epilogue, and, one, like, comic ending, sorta. Maybe if I just close my eyes, I can make everything return to normal and start this day over again. The stairs upward feel particularly difficult to climb today. It was a rather strange day at the office, but I know that returning home to my family will make me feel better. Shinya took me to the train station and waited until I boarded my train. It was really sweet of him. I don't fully recall the things he said to me. He might have mentioned something about not needing to return to the office anymore. Maybe all my work there is completed? My head is still a bit fuzzy, but I'll sift through the details after a hot shower later tonight. Since the sun is beginning to go down, I think the others should be home by now. Yuriko is probably relaxing on the sofa, and Mother should definitely be here, since she doesn't leave the apartment these days. I unlock the door to the apartment and wander inside. Oh boy.
I'm home.
Stepping through the open door is always a comforting feeling. It's good to return after a long day at work.
There you are.
Things have gotten really messed up really quickly in this end.
Good evening, Big Sis. Good evening, Mom.
Yuriko offers me a warm smile. She's changed a lot recently. Her foul, rebellious attitude disappeared when she moved in. Maybe she simply wanted our family to be reunited again. Maybe her delinquency was all just an act, a way of trying to deny what she really wanted, to simply return home. Mother, on the other hand, doesn't really regard my entrance, but that's nothing to be concerned about. She's always distant and aloof.
Shall we order in tonight? I'm thinking some pizza would be delicious.
Yuriko nods. That causes a small clump of her hair to detach and flutter to the floor. I'm looking forward to a quiet night in with my family and some pizza. I never had the opportunity to enjoy these moments when I was growing up. In those days, I was simply grateful for the nights I could go to bed without a new bruise or gash to cover up. Mother used to kick me and slap me, but hang on. Yeah, she's still fixable. This isn't even the same MC anymore. This is someone basically wearing her skin. But yeah, she's still fixable. I look at her now, slumped on the couch, completely lost in her own world. That's not the mother that used to abuse me. That's not the mother that was married to my father. And Yuriko never used to stand up for me, but that's because... Yeah, this is a whole different character. So, for ending C, Aoi, Noriko's best friend, actually came in, killed her, and assumed her identity. So previously in this game, we actually killed Noriko's sister, or rather she died before we could. And the mother, from my understanding, is just very mentally unwell to begin with. So Noriko actually lived on her own. Now, in this ending, it seems that Aoi has taken over Noriko's life and for some reason moved both the mother and the dead sister into the house. Yuriko was never there when I was growing up. Where was she? I shut my eyes and tried to sift through the confusing fragments of memory swirling within my mind. She's not my mother. This woman before me. She's Noriko's mother. That's it. That's how I know her. Wait. Of course she's my mother. I'm Noriko, duh. How could I forget something so simple? Yuriko was there when I was growing up. The reason she never stood up for me is because no one ever abused me. God, I don't know why I get so confused and frazzled like this sometimes. I smile at my loving family and clap my hands together.
Okay, I'm going to order dinner. Is everyone happy with barbecue pizza?
Yuriko nods and Mother lets out a quiet snore of approval. I whip my phone up to eye level and open the food delivery app. I notice that my battery only has 8% left. I should charge it before it dies on me. I keep a charger here in the living room, so it only takes me a second to waltz over to the wall socket. As I lean down and grab the charger, I see that another phone is already plugged in. Another phone? The case is blue and the screen doesn't have a trace of damage on it. Yeah, short-haired Noriko actually kinda cute. Whose phone is this? I nervously tap the screen and see a list of noise notifications. There are a lot of notifications from someone named Junpei. Junpei. It's a name that doesn't ring a bell. I check to see if the phone is unlocked by pressing my thumb against the home button. Strangely, my fingerprint unlocks this phone instantly. My fingerprint? But this isn't my phone. This can't be my phone. The messages from Junpei all open in quick succession. Babe, good news, hit me up. Waiting for you. Coffee today? Are you mad at me? Talk to me, my little cherry blossom. I miss you. Did I do something wrong? That splitting sensation inside my skull returns as my eyes devour the contents of the never-ending string of messages. I feel like I know this person, but I can't picture a face. I can't picture any scenario in which we have ever met or spent time together. Why does he speak to me in such a familiar way? Wait, he's not speaking to me. Of course, this isn't my phone, so these messages were never intended for me. I throw the phone aside, happy to have broken free of my concern. It doesn't matter who the phone belongs to. It's not mine, so I don't have to deal with it. I plug my own phone into the charger, and I feel relieved as I watch the battery icon slowly fill up.
Okay, Mom, Yuriko, I'm going to go take a shower while my phone charges. I'll order dinner after that. I promise. Thank you for being patient.
For the first time in a while, Mother actively responds to my voice.
Noriko?
Her head lifts slightly, and she regards me with her dull eyes.
Mom?
Where am I? You're not Noriko.
A bead of sweat forms on my forehead, and a shiver crawls slowly down my spine like a spider. Her firm, accusatory tone immediately chills me to the bone.
Of course it's me, Mom. It's me, Noriko.
No. You're... Where am...
Panic settles in her delirious face. I don't exactly blame her for being scared and confused. She's been in a near vegetative state ever since she attempted suicide. But for her to not recognize me, for her to forget what her own daughter looks like, that's inexcusable, unforgivable. I'm Noriko, damn it. I fall to my knees, the splitting, throbbing, aching pain in my skull reaches a crescendo, threatening to blow my brains out across the living room.
I'm Noriko! Noriko Kurosawa! Look at me, Mom! Look at me!
Mother's eyes widen and she looks like she's going to vomit. She turns to see Yuriko, white and ghastly, in the seat next to her, and a tear forms in her eye.
What have you done? What is this?
Just shut up! Just shut up and be a part of my perfect family! Look at us! All three of us! We're the Kurosawa family, and we're finally back together! We're happy, right? We're happy.
So happy. Still on my knees, I slowly lower my head to the ground and let it rest on the soft carpet. I barely register the sound of the door being behind me opening slowly. After the creaking hinges come to a rest, a strange voice floods my ears.
Harold. You're Noriko no longer. Got work for you.
The source of the voice wanders towards me and towers above my face-down form. He said I'm no longer Noriko. Can my identity just slip away so easily? Can it vanish into thin air like it was never truly a part of me?
No. I will always be. I am Noriko!
I leap to my feet and launch myself at the man. The man who dared enter my apartment and tell me I'm not truly who I want to be. I barely catch a glimpse of his face before he pummels me in the nose with a broad fist. I'm on the floor again in an instant, the dizzying lights above me spinning in my blurred vision.
Shut up. Get your things. We're cleaning up after Corpse Girl's mess.
Okay, Hell Unleashed. Unlock the Hell ending. How interesting. Alright, so that was Hell ending. We've already done the false ending. I guess the next one will be ending A, true. Ending A, true, Noriko Kurosawa. 3 months later. Sometimes, on dark and overcast days, I can feel the cold bite of steel inside my gut. It's a phantom sensation that flickers and dissipates within moments. My doctor says it's nothing to be concerned about, but that doesn't prevent me from pulling my clothes aside to examine the skin underneath. The sight of the scar does little to comfort me. I don't think I should have survived this injury. I don't think I should have walked away after regaining consciousness. But somehow, I survived that encounter with Aoi. In the darkest recesses of my memory, I can vaguely recall the warmth of strong arms carrying me from that factory, carrying me to safety. Somebody saved me on that fateful day, but I don't know who. Regardless, I owe them my life, my new life, a life that is actually worth something. A life that doesn't consist of skulking in the shadows and pretending to be a beautiful corpse. I look down at the empty plate before me and smile. I'm still not accustomed to the sight of a finished meal, but I'm slowly learning to love it. My stomach feels full, truly full, not just full enough like I used to force myself to believe. I've put on 4 pounds recently. 4 good, healthy pounds. My cheeks glow with vitality, and my skin is no longer the sickly color of ghastly flesh. The waiters at this restaurant are probably getting sick of seeing me in here every other day, but I don't mind. I eat well here, and I've learned to cook at home, too. Tomoe, of all people, taught me how to prepare dinner. I never expected to study the culinary arts under someone like her. But she has a knack for bringing out the flavor in food. She says she's picked up a few things from years of caring for her kid siblings. I'm learning a lot from her. I push my plate to the side and take a sip of water. Time to pay the bill and get going. There are things to do tonight, after all. Months have passed since the last time I set foot on these cursed grounds. The wafting stench of decay invades my nostrils and threatens to make me spill the contents of my stomach on the asphalt. It's a stench that I was once completely accustomed to. Now it's a sickening reminder of a person I used to be not so long ago. I didn't want to come here tonight. I didn't want to come here ever. Yet here I am. Call it a hunch or a premonition or just a bad feeling, but some part of my mind urged me to visit this place after receiving a strange text message this morning. A text message that seemed both alien and familiar at the same time. A solitary word decorated the contents of the message, goodbye. But what drew my attention the most was the image attached, a photo of a young woman. A young woman bent over backwards, her face obscured by matted hair and blood, and her chest exploding open from the inside. The young woman in the photo was me. It was an image of my own corpse. The craftsmanship was excellent. The cadaver used to replicate my body looked just like me. My first assumption was that the Human Removal Service sent this photo to me, but upon the moment of deliberation, that didn't seem to be the case. The Human Removal Service activity has declined rapidly as of late. The number of murders, or suicides depending on how you look at it, across Tokyo has been decelerated so quickly that it's almost as if the Human Removal Service never existed at all. Besides, that organization had a particular trademark when sending out doctored corpse photos. They would include instructions with the message, instructions for the victim to follow, usually involving the murder of another victim. The message I received simply said goodbye. My corpse photo feels personal. It's typical of the work I used to perform. It's almost as if somebody took over the identity of Corpse Girl, the role that I once filled. But that's crazy, isn't it? I take a deep breath and stride towards the factory's entrance. I almost choke as I breathe in the thick air. The stench of death hangs like smoke inside the factory. This place looks just like it did when I was last here. The notable exceptions are the fresh cadavers displayed here and there upon the warehouse racks. Somebody is living here. Somebody is continuing Corpse Girl's work. And somebody thought it was wise to target me as the victim. Me, Noriko Kurosawa. Somebody made a fatal mistake. Animalistic instincts rise within me as my legs move with purpose. My feet claw at the damaged concrete ground with every step. I'll kill the new Corpse Girl. I'll kill her and bury her. Enough is enough. I'll end the cycle of death that I started so long ago.
Who are you?
A meek voice slinks through the darkness, tugging aside the veil of silence ever so gently. I concentrate hard in order to identify the direction it came from. If I'm taken off guard even for just a second, it may be my end. My left. The voice came from my left. I spin on one heel and immediately feel bile rise in my throat.
May I help you with something?
What the fuck is this?
My name is Noriko. Noriko Kurosawa. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
Aoi? Is that you?
I feel like I'm looking into a twisted mirror. The girl before me is not me, and yet...
Are you here to buy a corpse? I have plenty on display. You can browse as much as you like. But that one on the end of the rack is reserved. Sorry.
She runs her grimy hand through her unwashed hair and scratches her scalp violently. A fleck of spittle drips from her lower lip as her eyes glaze over. This is Aoi Sato. Despite the hair and the makeup and the clothes, my old clothes, her voice is still the same as I remember.
Aoi, knock it off. You're scaring me.
Who is Aoi? Is that your name? Well, it's nice to meet you, Aoi. My name is Noriko.
A moment of clarity brings immediate understanding. Just like I was torn between my own identity and that of Corpse Girl's, Aoi has become me. But her transformation hasn't been kind to her. Any recognition of her previous self has vanished. She doesn't even know her real name. After everything I've been through, I should be more forgiving to someone struggling with their identity. should be understanding and sympathetic. Aoi, Noriko, gasped for air as my fingers clenched her throat. I ran my knee into her stomach and smashed her into the warehouse racking, causing several stiff cadavers to crash to the ground around us.
Stop!
Aoi has lost herself. She has discarded all remnants of who she once was. I'm fine with that. I can almost relate to it. But I am Noriko Kurosawa. I have reclaimed my true self, and I won't let her become me. I am Noriko Kurosawa. And this bitch that stabbed me and left me for dead, will not take my life away from me.
Die! Die!
I press Aoi against the steel racks and feel something within her frail body either bend or break. Her dull, tired eyes begin to droop, and the hands scratching at my wrists suddenly give up the fight. I realize I'm panting heavily as I clutch her neck. Her own ragged breathing synchronizes with mine, and it's almost as though we are one person. No. She is not me.
You are not me!
I scream and feel my fingernails puncture her skin. My fingers pierce her neck and drill into her flesh, stopping only when they clasp tightly around her spinal column. Oh gosh. With all the strength I can pull from within me, I twist my arm and throw Aoi to the blood-splattered concrete. She hits the ground unceremoniously, her lightweight body barely making a sound as her vacant, dead eyes stare up at the cracked ceiling. I never imagined I'd have to dig up this grave for a second time. When I buried Corpse Girl in the gardens below our former apartment, I didn't predict I'd have to see her again so soon. But here she is, still rotten and miserable. I thought her burial was going to be the end of it all, a symbolic gesture to help me leave behind the person I had become. It was a way to reclaim my former self and bury the past. Corpse Girl doesn't say anything when she sees me lift the dirt from her resting place. She doesn't give any indication that she even noticed my presence. Fine, be that way. I couldn't care less.
I've brought a friend for you. Someone to keep you company.
With a great deal of effort, I haul the body of Aoi, Nori is a Noriko, into the narrow pit and let it collapse beside Corpse Girl. The girl in my old clothes seems to cuddle up to her new companion. It's almost fitting that the person who became me should rest eternally beside the person I had tried to become. I think I can rest easy knowing that they're both in the ground. I think nothing further can prevent me from being Noriko.
Suppose I should say a few words. You were my best friend, Aoi, and I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry that I only ever wanted to save myself. I hope that you at least found some happiness by becoming me. Goodbye.
I clutch the small shovel in my hands and begin to fill the makeshift grave. Dirt and rocks pile into the pit slowly. I mistake the faint howl of the wind as a final moan from the girl I once knew as Aoi. Covered in dirt and grime and blood and muck and God knows what else, I collapse onto the floor of my new apartment. I'm very fortunate I managed to find this place. Someone moved out in a hurry, and I was able to move right in with just the first month's rent paid up front. I don't know if I'll be able to afford next month's payment, but I'll face that challenge when it arrives. For now, everything is finally over. I should shower or bathe, or at least scrub the filth from my skin. But I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. This is the price of being Noriko Kurosawa. I roll over onto my side and grab my phone, slowly bringing it to my eye level. An involuntary frown masks my dirt-encrusted face when I notice the icon for one missed call on my screen, an unknown number. A short message tells me that the caller left a voicemail. I don't know who would have called me at such a late hour. It's well past midnight after all. I close my eyes and let the voicemail play.
Hey. Bit late. Sauce. We should talk. Call me?
Was that it? That was the end? What? Alright, I guess that was true ending. Let's see. Bonus ending. Do we do bonus ending? Let's do epilogue first. Epilogue, Nobel Sinclair. Oh, I see. Okay, so then it feeds off into this one, 1 year later. That's why it's confusing. The book is almost warm in my hand. It's a pristine volume fresh off the printing press. Paperback, though I would have preferred hardback. Been a while since I last published a book. Years. The few fans I have probably thought I disappeared off the face of the planet. I did, in a way. Not my fault. Death is death. Nobel Sinclair died in a fire inside his family's home. So this is just... I'll skip through this real quick. Oh, I guess it won't let me. We've already read this. This is the epilogue, so I guess after every ending you would find out that, Kojiro became Nobel Sinclair again. What a waste of an arm. All I'm saying is, like, he cut off his own arm and then immediately the use for that, like, diminished greatly. So I'm not gonna read through this because we have actually already read through this, but we'll go back and do that extra ending. Assuming this is not, if this is the Crow ending, then I'll have to back out, I think. Bonus ending, let's see. Tomoe Watanabe. God, this place is boring as hell. After all the shit I've been through this year, I simply can't believe I'm still working here. If it weren't for Shinya, I probably wouldn't bother coming in every day. But I want to patch things up with him. If I keep talking to him at the office, surely I'll crawl my way to forgiveness. Speaking of that son of a bitch, here he comes now. Look at him. He walks past my desk and doesn't even acknowledge my existence. How can he ignore me after all the time we spent together? Tch, fucking hell. He irritates the shit out of me sometimes. I'll just have to take matters into my own hands. If he won't talk to me, I'll just make him talk. I leave my desk and stride over to him. My heavy footsteps aren't exactly elegant or befitting of a lady, as my mother used to always say, but I don't really give a flying fuck.
Hey, what's going on?
The slurred drawling sounds that drip from my mouth don't come out the way I want. That always seems to be the case. Everyone treats me like some dumbass dipshit because of the way I speak. They don't understand that it's the way somebody thinks that really matters. You can't help it if I was brought up to speak like a fucking imbecile. Blame my father, not me.
Oh. Hello, Tomoe.
Hello yourself. What's a gal gotta do to get a conversation out of you these days?
Huh? What do you mean?
Come on. You know we don't speak like we used to.
Well, we broke up. You dumped me. What exactly do you expect from me now?
Oh, please. You know I'm sorry for that. I told you 1,000 times that breaking it off with you was the stupidest thing I've ever done. So come on! Get back together with me, will ya?
Tomoe, you broke my heart.
Yeah, I know. Shinya, I really love you. I need you.
I'm not normally one to get embarrassed, but letting my feelings hang in the air between us really makes me feel
Did
uncomfortable.
you hear about my father?
Huh?
I wasn't expecting him to shrug off my confession with a swift change of topic.
He's tracked down an important member of the Human Removal Service.
Jeez, not this shit again. Can't you just let it all go?
No, I can never do that. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I could use a hand, if you're willing to assist. Having someone by my side with insider information would be rather handy. Don't you agree?
I'm kind of blindsided by his request. I know that he knows everything. It'd be stupid to pretend he hasn't figured it all out now. He knows of my involvement with Noriko. He knows that I had a hand, however indirect, in the suicide cases that Corpse Girl painted across the city.
I'm not going to judge you for working with Noriko. If you can help me bring the greater perpetrator to justice, the head of the human removal service, then I think it may have been a good thing that you did what you did.
That's so... You'd forgive me for getting involved with such stupid shit?
Yes. I'd have no choice but to forgive you. And maybe we can even move further forward.
I know he's just saying what I want to hear. He can be manipulative in his own way. But if there's a chance I can make up for the shit that I've done and win Shinya over again, then I have to go for it.
Right. Sign me up then, or whatever. I'll help out.
Thank you, Tomoe. I'm going to interview the individual involved with the human removal service.
Are you allowed to do that?
Of course. Father said I'm an important member of the investigation team now. I'd like you to come with me. You might be able to point out any inconsistencies in his testimony.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
For the first time in a long time, Shinya smiles at me.
Ah, shit, man. I told you, I don't know. Can you just leave me alone?
This guy is pathetic. Every time I open my mouth, he flinches and recoils in terror, like he thinks I'm going to hit him or stab him.
Listen here, you little shit. If you don't spill the deets, my man here will crush your fat skull into dust.
Tomoe, maybe you should let me do the talking from here on out.
Whatever.
I back off and let Shinya take my place. I talked him up, so I thought he'd be pleased, but maybe I just annoyed him.
Mr. Matsumoto.
Please, just call me June. Hey, nice try, mister. I ain't your friend. You can address me formally. Thank you very much.
He folds his arm across his chest and adopts the pouting expression of a child.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, Mr. Matsumoto, you understand why you've been brought in for questioning, yes?
Yeah, man, but, like, I'm totes innocent, you know? I don't even know nothing about the human removal service. You guys think I'm involved, but you haven't given a reason why you think that.
Shinya retrieves a small pocket notebook from somewhere and flips through the pages. After a moment's silence, he clears his throat.
Several witnesses, plus a security camera, placed you at the scene of a murder just 2 days ago. Now, it's apparent you weren't the culprit. However, your activities at the time of the incident were questionable at best.
Oh, what activities are you referring to, Detective Man?
You were cheering, and I quote, "Kill him dead. Kill him dead."
Yo, that
Jesus.
don't sound like something I'd say. I want my lawyer. You can't detain me here.
Mr. Matsumoto, you willingly came here when we contacted you. You are not under arrest.
This is ludicrous. Ludicrous, I say.
Be that as it may, I have a few more questions. One witness declared that you followed the masked culprit after they fled the scene of the crime. Is there any truth to this claim?
Nah, man, like, I just needed to go the same direction, you know?
Yeah, just go in the same direction as the murderer.
I've got no idea who this Harold person you keep mentioning is.
Shinya raises an eyebrow and casts me a dark look. I just shrug.
I never mentioned the word Harold. Is that the name the culprit refers to themselves as?
Oh, this is like some detective mind trick, ain't it? I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say or do, or whatever, can be like...
I've had enough of this creep's inane rambling.
Listen up!
I slam my fist against the table and send Junpei rolling back in his seat. He nearly falls off the chair, but manages to regain his balance.
You've got two options here. Number one, tell us the identity of that killer. The person you called the Herald.
What's the other option?
Number two, tell us who is really in charge of the human removal service.
His sweaty, pulsating forehead is glowing red.
I can't betray the identity of the Herald. I just can't. But the guy behind all of this? I say fuck him. I'll sell him out if it means you'll pardon my involvement.
I don't know what caused the sudden change in attitude, but Shinya gives me a grateful nod, and it feels good to have been helpful.
Please, Mr. Matsumoto. Please give us a name.
Okay. Look. You gotta know this. I don't have all the deets, okay? I'm not as important as y'all think I am. But the guy running this whole thing, he's got an army of masked killers. An army of damaged chicks all going around, killing and calling themselves the Herald.
And the name of this ringleader?
Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't got his full name. I only know him as N.
You're
Sinclair.
kidding. Oh, you're kidding, man. N. Sinclair. A foreign name, although the first name could be Japanese, I suppose. Shinya is jotting the name down and confirming the correct spelling with Junpei. I find myself lost in thought, far detached from this moment. For some strange reason, Noriko's face pops into my mind, and I have a fuzzy recollection of the conversation with her, but any attempt to clarify the thought in my mind is useless.
Shinya, is the name familiar to you?
Yes.
Amazing, Shinya always surprises
So
me.
who is it?
Noriko Kurosawa once told me about a book she was reading.
Yeah, of course it comes back to him.
Now, please understand, I don't share the same taste in fiction as hers, so...
Yeah, I get it. Get to the point.
She used to read the most macabre, horrific stories. And she told me about one book in particular. A book about a man obsessed with corpses.
Obsessed with corpses, huh? Jeez, don't that sound familiar? Wait, what am I saying? That does sound familiar. She told me about that book, too. Flower. Something about a flower.
Yes, Strange Flower. A book by Nobel Sinclair.
Nobel Sinclair. N. Sinclair himself.
Jeez. You reckon that's the guy behind the human removal service?
I don't know, but it's a lead. A man obsessed with the dead. Truly despicable.
That's one way to put it. I've done my time with sickos like that. Had enough of it, and put it all behind me.
Yo! Detective man. Can I, go now?
Absolutely not.
Shinya turns away from Junpei and beckons for one of the armed police officers standing guard at the room's entrance. The officer walks over and awaits Shinya's command.
Arrest this man.
Yo, that's whack! What are you doing?
The police officer cuffs Junpei and yanks him out of his chair.
Damn. Shinya, that was cold.
It had to be done.
Junpei Matsumoto is dragged away, kicking and screaming. Silence falls upon the room after the door closes in the police officer's
So,
wake.
what now, Detective Man?
Shinya scratches his chin, as though wondering why I would call him that, but he doesn't voice his
Our
discontent.
next step is to track down the author, Nobel Sinclair. Maybe he's our culprit, maybe not. Either way, we won't know until we talk to him.
Right on. And... what about...
Shinya interrupts me with a sudden soft kiss on the lips. I close my eyes and lean into him, letting his warmth envelop me.
Shinya...
I couldn't have done this without you, Tomoe. And I wouldn't be the man I am today had it not been for you. So... thank you.
Does this mean... you want to be with me again?
Yes. If you'll have me.
My heart swells with this confirmation. I've never been so happy.
Shinya! Of course!
He kisses me again, and the fear I had of losing him it instantly washes away. I won't fuck it up this time. I'll keep him close to me and protect him forever. I reluctantly break away from his embrace and hold his chin delicately in my fingers.
Let's go find this Nobel Sinclair fucker.
Yes. Let's find him and bring him to justice.
Oh boy. Love Unburied. Unlock the bonus ending. Okay, so that one was our bonus ending. I believe that covers all of them, save for the crow one, which we can start now. Also, I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm not super set up for like a terribly long story, but we'll see how it goes. Call, Nora Kurosawa. I've always liked the shape of my wings, Call. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my wings, Call. With or without feathers, I think they look great, Call. Mother used to tell me I inherited her wings, and my big sister inherited Father's wings. To be honest, I don't see any of Father's feathers in myself or my sister, Call. But I do agree my wings are exact replicas of Mother's. Mother doesn't fly too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my wings are perfect, Call, and I couldn't be happier with them. Today's morning ritual is the same as any other work day. I'm a slave to the shiny things, and I'm not proud of it, Call. Call me a culprit sellout, but I can't survive without the shiny things. That's just the cost of being me. Or Kurosawa, Call. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. The early bird catches the worm, after all, Call. I skip breakfast because I don't want to get my beak dirty by digging in the dirt. I'm out of my cramped nest by 6:45 a.m., Call. The static drone of workplace noise fills my ear holes. Chirping, ringing phones, feathers tapping against keyboards, photocopiers, even the steady low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din, Call. Before I take a step towards my desk, a mocking trill whispers behind me. You look like bird shit, scree. From Chromoe. I hate this. Looks like you've been sleeping in a tree. It suits you, scree. I don't know what she's talking about. I can't really focus on what she's saying. You know, I'm talking here. It's rude to ignore the eldest bird in the nest, scree. I swallow an attempt to moisten my parched throat before speaking in a cracked voice. Do you need something? Caw. Nah, I'm done with you, skink, scree. Chromoe turns tail and walks away. I sigh and sit down in my office chair. Why do I feel so exhausted, Call? I need to calm down and focus on Crow Girl's work. I can't let things like exhaustion or social anxiety stand in my way, Call. I take a deep breath. I'm in control now. I'm myself again. I'm Nora Crow, stoic and unflinching, Call. I'm Crow Girl, successful and feared. I can kill people as easily as I manipulate simple tools in order to obtain food, Call. People like Chromoe should be scared of me. People like Chromoe shouldn't mess with me. I'm in control now, Call. Oh no. I decided to visit an old favorite hangout today. An old perch, if you will. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, soothing, Call. I can sit here for hours, for free, and just get lost in different worlds. I don't feel judged here. No one looks at me and mocks my feathers or my beak. No one looks at me and asks if I've eaten enough worms lately, Call. Nobody makes fun of me, that lonely bird in the corner reading Lovecraft and simply preening her feathers. Cthulhu, haha. You a Lovecraft nerd? Oh, Jiro, I hate this. I blink twice and look up at the strange bird standing over me. Call. Zaz, didn't mean to interrupt, Ku. Notice you're reading Lovecraft. Huh, in Japanese, too. Didn't know this book had been translated, Ku. Yeah, my English isn't great, so I read the translated versions. Call. That's mad. Do they translate esoteric names? Can't imagine Cthulhu being easy to write in kanji. To be fair, it's hard to pronounce in English as well. Well, it's written in katakana, so of course, Krojiro Ku. The bird extends a wing, and I can't tell if he wants me to shake it or pass him my book. What? I'm Krojiro. You? Norikro. Kurosawa, call. Nice. Just Krojiro for me, Ku. No last name. Call me Kroji. You don't have a last name? Used to. Lost it. Fell out of the nest, you know. I'm just Krojiro now. I hate this. This guy is weird. His feathers smell like they've been dragged through the dirt. His face is unshaven. Writer's note. I've got no bird joke for unshaven. Sorry. Plucked? Ugh. And his eyes are scarily clear and focused despite being masked by a pair of thick, didn't mean to keep you. Saws again. Later. And without so much a glance back at me, the bird hops away. I try to return to my own thoughts, but that whole conversation just replays back in my head. What a bizarre encounter, Call. Yeah, even the writers gave up. Maybe I'll just head back to the nest for today. Cthulhu. I hate that so much. Writer's note. I'm out of bird jokes. Crow Factory just can't end here, can it? What will become of Crow Girl? Who would stop Crokyo City from being overrun by bad bird jokes? Should I have even created this abomination of a minigame? Call. Thanks for playing. That's nice. I like that. Oh my gosh. Alright, I think that is everything. Yep, we've got all of our CG. We'll go through real quick. One last time. She didn't last very long, did she? Thank you! This was actually a lot of fun. Like, I wanted to pick up another one of these style games, but I'm having a hard time finding anything that looks as good as this. Either a visual novel, or I was thinking about a walking sim, just something with a lot of story. I picked up, I think it was called Blue Suburban, or no, Blue Suburbia, or Suburban, I don't know, I think it was Blue Suburbia, earlier today, and it turned out that it was very horror-esque and jump scary, and I only played like 30 minutes of it. I really wasn't feeling it. I want something very atmospheric next. It's just hard to find good titles with kind of the same feel. But this was solid. I wish there were more endings. Like, I want to know more. How does Noelle Sinclair keep getting away with shit? Yeah, the endings did feel pretty short. Honestly, I guess it's because of the way the epilogue kind of fell in with ending B. That kind of felt like the most full ending. I don't like how ending A and ending C both ended with Kojiro being like in the background, but then we never actually hear what goes on. Like in ending A, that always startles me. I forget that that's gonna change. In ending A, he's like, hey, we need to talk, and then we never hear what that conversation's about. Is kind of sad. I would like to hear more about what happens after the fact. This was crazy. Just having her dead sister here. Like, how did she get a hold of the body to begin with? Like, that's just wild. And then I do feel sort of bad for Kojiro, because I really liked him as a character, and he cut off his own arm to prove his loyalty, and then I don't believe anything ever came out of that. Like as soon as he cut his arm off, his morgue was set on fire, and you don't hear anything after that until obviously this point where he just takes up the name Nobel Sinclair again. Which, considering he used that name... Oh, that's another thing. I have to wonder about the human disposal service. Like, why was that... Why is his name even part of that? I mean, is that to give Noriko purpose? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different layers to this. But overall, pretty good. What now? No, we didn't. We didn't get a full answer at all. Which is a little upsetting, but that's usually how these kinds of games go. They leave things very open-ended for interpretation. Aoi was nuts. Like, throughout the whole game, she's like super sweet and nice, and then just by the end, she does like a whole 180. So all the characters here, except for maybe Tomoe and Shinya, are fucking crazy. And Tomoe still helped out. Like, that's still wild. Boy. But I'm definitely happy I picked this up. Maybe one day we'll get a second game. Yeah, every character was... Yeah, they were definitely unique in their types of crazy. I would have loved to have more information on Noriko and Aoi's backstories individually. They kind of gave us, like, vague ideas of things that happen. And Noriko's was maybe a little bit more fleshed out than Aoi's, but I would have loved to have gone more in-depth on just what kind of caused them to become so fucked up. For that matter, I would have liked to hear more about Tomoe's siblings, like why was she sending money to them? Yeah. And Kojiro has a whole lot of story that could definitely have been answered. Was there any other characters? I wish they had fleshed Shinya out a little bit more too. So, towards the end, Shinya's like looking at Aoi going, I want you to help me kill Noriko. And then they never really came back to that. They never explained, like, really why he says that. And if that's the case, did Noriko just, like... I mean, because she still assumed the same identity after all this, so people had to know who she was. You know, did she end up getting entangled with the cops? You know, how does that work? I mean, it seems like things just dropped off and she lived a happy life from there on after. But, the ride was fun. Definitely like more to the ending, but overall pretty good. So, with that, this comes to an end. And I appreciate you guys hanging out and playing with me. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna see if I can't find something else that's kind of along the same vein to play, because I'm kind of stuck in this, like, wanting more now. Yeah, no problem. Alright, we'll probably end it here. You guys have a good night, and hopefully maybe in a couple days I'll be back with the next one if everything goes well. See y'all around. Bye bye.